Good morning, bedheads. Click. How's it going this morning? It's a weird day, isn't it? That's why I pulled this mug out. We just have to try and relax. Woo! Woo! Okay, so this is getting really something else. My bedhead just keeps getting better and better and better. Hello, I'm Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. This is Coffee with Karen. I had all these things I was going to talk about. I have like sticky note after sticky note after sticky note just based on comments of things that have been coming up over the last couple days in videos. And I thought, oh, I'm going to, spend time sharing what other people are saying and things I'm learning from the community. And, just like I was going to do a section on just, DEMS. I'm going to start calling it like DEMS persistence or something rather than resistance. My last video, I called it resistance. So if you guys have a better word for it, DEMS something, Democrat, rather than resistance. I don't really like the term resistance. Maybe I'll look at the spiritual laws in the golden future and see what would be a better word. Because resistance is not really what we want to be doing, is resistance. It's not good. Same with we don't want to be calling things the fight, what do they call, like the fight for cancer, cancer, we're fighting cancer. It's not good. Because we're not going to win by fighting it. So we really got to start changing that language as a society. But anyways, so I'm going to do a couple minutes of chit chat and then I'm going to do a card reading of just a message for today. And we're going to do a clearing is really where I want to go today. And I want to thank, it's funny because I always take pictures of comments that connect with me and something like, oh, that's interesting. And I take a picture of it so that I can think about talking about it here or, just using it for my own reflection. So that's what I was going through all my notes today. And that's why I was making my list of things I want to talk about. But then I just was like, no, just because I came across Deb Nielsen, 1958. Were you born in 1958, Deb? Debbie. Oh, Deb. So Deb said, and again, I took a picture of this because I just loved it. I take a lot of pictures of comments that you guys leave for a whole variety of reasons. So look at me, my feeler. I don't want to leave anybody out. I pick one person. I don't want to leave anybody out, right? So Deb said, calling all light workers. Please unite today 2/9. So, and yes, I did have the Super Bowl date wrong for a little while. I did catch it. You guys just leave comments as you go along, don't you? Which is totally fine. But I did catch the fact that I had the wrong date. So 2/9. So Deb said, please unite today, 2/9, to flood the zone with pure light, love, empathy, compassion, care, peace, faith, and acceptance with gratitude as the newly awakened join us. And I thought, you know what? That's where we have to spend our energy today. Because who knows hopefully it's just a fun game today. If you guys saw the Super Bowl, my Super Bowl video from last night, if you haven't, I'll post it here after this video. There's quite a few people who have been just doing energy around the Super Bowl. And somebody else had commented in that video, if you look at some of the comments, about their own readings that they're getting about it. So it's not just, it wasn't just my energy reading. So I think it's best to spend our energy today just in light and love and not in worry at all, right? So that's going to be my responsibility on this channel is just focus there today. Click. So we're going to relax because the only way to send light and love is to relax, right? So we need to do that first. You have to relax in yourself you have to be loving in yourself in order to send love. And I picked this color today. For some reason, I really resonate with these colors I like the white, like, I've been talking about wearing white, which, I pulled off for like 3 videos. But I like this. I don't know. This is very angelic. These colors to me feel like an angel, maybe not the dark, but the pink and the white and the light blue. So I don't know. When I think of this shirt, I always think of angels. I don't know why. So, which is kind of ironic because I did ask the SGs which card I should pull today. I don't know. Kind of matches a little bit. And they wanted me to use the Fairy Tarot. So we'll see what we get from the fairies today. I wasn't disappointed. I'm never disappointed what card deck they want me to use. So, and the last thing I'll say, I thought it was interesting, like somebody had left a comment that said he or she is surprised by the amount of hate for our president that they see in the comments here. And it's interesting to me because when I look at the comments, I don't see that. So I did write back, hopefully kindly. I just said, that's really interesting because I wonder if that's a projection. And they, I know it's hard. I think the hate comes from when we say F-45, and this person said our president. So obviously there was respect there. So I think that's the challenge, is what we consider a respectable president. Okay. So maybe the term F-45 is where the hate comes. It projects as hate. But I actually see most of the comments in the channel as concern and love for humanity. So, but the other thing that I'm well aware of, because I see other people's comments, depending on what channel you watch, you can always tell where people lean, right? Even the spiritual people. Yes, we all have a bias. We are human beings. And I'm very clear about my bias. I don't hide it whatsoever. Well, I'm biased towards truth, compassion for all human beings. I do want the truth, absolutely. But it's very interesting how those who still support F-45, even regardless of all the proof of the untruths that he represents, and it's proof. This is not, that people still think that they're the ones uncovering the truth. I just think it's, and so it does make me question every once in a while. I'm like, well, okay, maybe it is my thought process. Maybe whatever is going to come up is going to be enlightening for the folks on this channel. I don't know. It is interesting, isn't it? Because if you listen to spiritual people on the right, they will say we need to awaken. And so there is a slight us and them type of energy right now. Only because I do kind of pay attention, because I'm trying to learn on both, just kind of collectively what's going on. And I find it fascinating that we are actually all saying the same thing. We all want the truth. We all want love. We all want compassion. But my but here is, if people were actually paying attention to the truth about F-45, that they would see that and Elon as well. So it completely depends on who you're listening to, doesn't it? Which is why we all need to listen to different things. So I'm talking more here. I'll do timestamps in the subject line today. So yeah, that's the part I'm grappling with right now, is how we're all saying the same thing, but of two different areas. But for me, when you literally look at 45, when he's actually talking, okay, and now somebody might say, how do you know that's not AI? Because, it's getting like, this is where we have to go in. This is why I think we are being required to go inside. That's all there is to it. you know. Because I just did watch a video of literally they were showing like TED Talks that looked like a TED Talk, but it was completely like a person standing on stage giving a TED Talk, and it was AI generated. God. So this is where I think, the spirituality, the spiritual stuff comes in, where we do need to rely on what, and in fact, my sister Marcia says to me often, like, well, how do you know that's even true? Like, how do we know? How do we know anything's actually true? And I'm like, because I see it. I see it with my eyes. But you don't really know, do you? Especially with this AI stuff, I don't know. But I guess maybe the point is it doesn't really matter. What matters is your truth going inside. You have your own morals, your values. Go inside and project those. It really is. And I know those of you who have been on this channel from day one, it may appear as if I'm flip-flopping. I'm not flip-flopping at all. I'm exploring. I'll continue to say I'm exploring the 3D while always coming back to center on it, because when we get caught up in the weeds, which I do, I come back to center on it. So I'm just, the exploration of the 3D just gets slightly different each time, because you see different angles of things, right? Or you get everybody's different perspectives. So I think we are getting more and more, which is amazing. I can see this now. I can see it over the last couple of weeks, how we're almost to a point where we don't have any choice but to go within and take care of what's immediately around us, right? We don't have a choice. And I will tell you, this is not AI generated, but how do you know? Right? Interesting. I was trying to think, like, how could I prove to you that I'm not AI generated? I don't know. I was gonna the data on my phone. But I don't know if that would even, because, anyways, I'm not trying to put a bunch of stuff in people's minds. But don't you think that it's getting so obvious that the only place we can be from a practical, mental, physical, spiritual place is to be where we're at and not focus on things that are way, way, way outside of us, and sit with your truth, sit with, just, and beaming out your love and light, basically. I mean, it always comes back to that, doesn't it? It really always comes back to that, because otherwise it is so chaos. It's just there's so much chaos, And I don't mind exploring the chaos. You've noticed that. I don't mind exploring it. It just depends on my mood. Because I find it interesting. We're in the 3D for a reason. I'm not when I cross the veil, then I can be in that space again. But I do think from an earth perspective, we are, I think Source wants us to move in that direction. And so, but for the meantime, I'm going to continue exploring the 3D, but in a responsible way, right? As much as some of you might not think what I'm doing is responsible. Well, if you do, then people usually don't stick around, but, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. That's just kind of where I'm at today. I think I'm at big picture today, just big picture, not in the weeds. My sticky notes that I was originally going to do were very much in the weeds, very much in the weeds. So, so I'm not going to be in the weeds today, but maybe tomorrow I'll bring some practical stuff. We'll see. Okay. Deep breath, everybody. Everybody. Wow, that 15 minutes went fast for me. You're probably like, geez, Karen, get on with it. I will put timestamps. Okay, so card reading at 15:30. Card reading at 15:30. I better write that down. 15:30. Okay. And then I'll do a clearing also, just to help us get in that space today. If you want to watch the Super Bowl, enjoy it. Have fun. You know, if you don't, there's people who are just not into it, not feeling it. You know, we'll talk tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow. I have a feeling we might not even be in the weeds tomorrow. We might. Okay. So this is a card I just got. It's a 9, so 9 is completion. 1 plus 8 is 9. And yes, I did get the numbers wrong yesterday. Boy, oh boy. I was really kind of off yesterday on my numbers. This is the Moon card. I think we got this the other day, didn't we? I feel like I had this one the other day. This is the Fairy Tarot. I will have it linked below. It's an affiliate link if you want to support the channel. Powerful, intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of a situation. Okay? Great message. Let me just look in the book here and see what else they want to tell us about that. So 18. The universe is sending you messages right now about the perfect next step to take. Listen to the guidance you receive in the form of intuition. I love that because that's what this channel is all about. Your intuition is going to be different than my intuition, okay? And we want to follow that because that's your guide speaking to you. We are here for supporting each other, and sometimes we question our intuition, don't we? Sometimes we question it, and that's why it's easier to pick up the dowsing rods to be like, am I questioning my intuition? You know, but I think we're getting nudged as human beings to follow our intuition more and more, which is what I was just talking about. Okay. So listen to the guidance you receive in the form of intuition, synchronistic events, symbols, and sleeping dreams. Be alert for people or situations that may not be quite what they seem. Give yourself a reading or speak to a professional or a friend who is also psychic. Again, this community here, right? Embrace the loving information you receive. It is divinely inspired. Very interesting. Let me know what you think by be alert for people or situations that may not be quite what they seem. What do you think about that in terms of today's day and age? Or think about it in your own life, and then also think about it from a collective, what's going on in the world right now. Okay, so this is a really positive message. Worry is unnecessary and will only slow down your progress. There's no need to be afraid. Let go of fear. Okay. If any part of your life no longer feels right, then trust your intuition and make the necessary changes. Our fairy plays, I usually hold it up. Our fairy plays a stringed instrument under the light of a crescent moon. Her reflection on the water, however, shows her playing a different instrument. Oh. What? What is it? Indicating that under the moon, things are not always what they appear to be. Wow. What's going on here? It's very subtle, but I don't see the little box in the reflection. See, it's just like that long. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so things are not what they appear to be. And the thing that's a little scary, I think, for a lot of us is we don't know. And I know this sounds so weird. It sounds so childish, actually. but I'm just going to say it because it's kind of how things are. We don't know like which side is really telling the truth at this point, because maybe none of it is, and maybe it's all truth. I don't know, but things are not as they appear to be. And I would have to say there's a part of me, especially the part that I'm concerned about today, is when I found out Musk is doing 4 commercials. He bought 4 commercials, and I don't know if he bought that with our federal dollars that he got loaned it. He got $7 million extra for his Doge committee or whatever. Then he originally got, like in 3 days, they gave him $7 million more dollars. And I don't know. I wonder if he used that money to buy these commercials, or, which is interesting because it's on Fox, by the way. Or if he used his own money. So that's the part of me that's really apprehensive about today, is these commercials. Like what? And it's very fascinating to me because it seems clear to me in my intuition and what I see him posting on X. I'm not on X, but and so many people talk about like everything he posts is not true. Like it's just not true. It's not factual. Like things are not factual. So I don't know. See, I got caught in the weeds. I got caught in the weeds again, but that's the one part that I am worried about, and the like us and them thing, and like why is so many people's intuition saying this and our intuition, other people's intuition is saying that, you know what I mean? But I will remind you, and I was reminded yesterday, that only I wrote this down, 24.3% of the United States voted for 45. 24%, you guys. And his approval rating is awful. He has the lowest approval rating for both his terms at this time of his presidency, for both than any other president. So we have to kind of keep that in mind. Remember, so many people didn't vote, right? 43% of the population. 24%. That's not a lot. That's not that much. So worry is unnecessary and will only slow down your progress. So again, calling out what I see, honoring. I just honored some of my fears by communicating, I'm just kind of demonstrating how this works. Like we are not just these perfect little rays of light, even though we want to be. We will when we cross over and we go, okay, so we are going to get caught up in these things. But see how quickly you can go from like boom, boom, right? And even just again, because I'm an extroverted feeler, it felt good to me to say my concern is this. Okay. So that's how I can release worry. And so how do you release worry? Okay. So if you have worry inside you, it's one thing to just say, okay, I'm not going to worry. But if you're resonating worry, you're vibrating worry, you can't just say that. Your energy knows it. Your energy is way more important than what you just, so you need to legit release it, So that's what you're getting at, is you want to make sure you legit, like you really release it, whether that's meditating, going on a treadmill and running, getting that energy out, whatever you got to do to release it and get your vibration, and your aura needs to show it. One of the things in the Golden Future, the book we're reading for book club in the Spirit Circle, I say that over and over because there's new people watching this. So in case anybody's wondering why I have to repeat certain things. So she talks about when we get to the 5th dimension, that we will all be able to see each other's auras, and you won't be able to not tell the truth anymore because we'll be able to see it. It will just be obvious. So I think that's interesting. So if we are meant to worry is unnecessary, if we're meant to go there today, If they're asking us, I have my mug, relax. Well, in order for you to relax, what do you need to do today so that you actually do relax? So like you can go take a nap, but if you're laying there all, then you're not really relaxed, right? It looks like you're relaxing, but you're actually not relaxed because your brain is moving, right? So your energy field is chaotic if you're laying there and your mind's spinning about everything, right? So we really, if you're going to take this to heart, this card, then we need to really work on releasing that today. Okay. So worry is unnecessary. So that's a really great message up front, just to hear spirit tell us that worry is unnecessary. Okay. But it's really the harder part for me is things don't appear as they look, which, I guess the harder part, that's my ego that is like, well, I thought I was right. Like, what if my ego is completely wrong of everything I've been perceiving? What if it's wrong? What if E. Musk comes to, actually somebody made that comment on the channel last night. Like, what if he actually shares information that's like really helpful? Like actually in support of the United States? I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what that could be, but what if, So and then I'm going to have to question my intuition or question, and that feels a little scary to me, right? I don't know. I'm just exploring all these things. But the underlining message is worry is unnecessary. So I guess if I would stop trying to, be the CIA agent of what's going on, trying to, unravel the mystery of it all, which, is the 3D kind of fun. I mean, just kind of interesting, part of it. I don't know if anyone can even relate to that, but I do, and I'm not going to pretend I don't. But I do love the fact that worry is unnecessary. It will only slow you down your progress. There's no need to be afraid. Let go of fear. Again, the way you have to let go of it is vibrationally. Okay. So if you want to do that, work on the vibration part of it. If any part of your life no longer feels right, then trust your intuition and make the necessary changes. I think the part about that is, if some part of your life doesn't feel right, well, yeah, there's a huge part of my life that doesn't feel right now, right? And it has to do with the federal government, right? And you're like, yeah, that doesn't feel right. But the problem is we don't have a lot of control over every minute of what's happening, right? I know you guys are going to have a lot of input today about this. Please, kindness, perspective. You can say it with kindness and perspective. I'm just throwing everything that's coming out of, again, extroverted feeler. So my introverted feelers are probably like, damn, girl. Can you think about any of this stuff before it comes out of your mouth? Nope. Nope, that's not what we do. We process out loud. And especially the introverted thinkers, which is my husband and my sister, one of my sisters, and most of my friends, introverted thinkers. I wonder why my soul decided to surround me with introverted thinkers. I wonder why. Anybody want to guess? Oh, Lord. I often, between my husband and my sister Marcia, like I'll call her when I'm like feeling overwhelmed about the channel or something. I'm like, okay, perspective, please, because she's an introverted thinker. She's going to be like, yeah, that's not a big deal. I'm like, okay, thanks. And then, okay, thanks. That's all I really need to hear anymore. Okay, so additional meanings of this card. Psychic awareness, seeing what you didn't see before. What the hell does that mean? We're seeing a lot of stuff we didn't see before, aren't we? But again, it depends. Why do some people really trust what's going on? I don't know. Please offer your suggestions. No longer being afraid. becoming a professional intuitive or reader, hidden information, and the power of sleeping dreams. Those are the additional meanings of this card. So my SGs wanted me to pull this deck. Let me ask them. This is getting way longer than I actually thought it was going to do, but whatever. That extroverted feeler in me. Okay, you guys. Oh, actually, I'm going to practice this. So rather than you guys, because I have now come to learn from someone who saw some folks around me, spirit guides around me, that is feminine energy. And I did see a person's comment yesterday that they say y'all. Hey, y'all. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have to practice that because I always say you guys. And since that's masculine energy, if I have feminine energy. So are my spirit guides, are you guys feminine energy only? No? Okay. Are you more feminine energy? Yes. Okay. Interesting. So, all right, y'all. What would you guys say for that? It's trying to say gender neutral, right? What was I going to ask them? Oh, I don't even remember what I was going to ask. Dang. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. Okay. Do you guys, was this the card, although I do think this was a very helpful card to discuss, was this the card you wanted me to pull? Yes, really wide swing. Okay. Is there another card you want me to discuss today? No. Okay, so they want us to focus there. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that resonates with somebody. That really resonates with me. There's a lot. There's a lot in this message. So, okay, so let's go ahead at 30 to 30. By the time I get myself set up, 30 to 30. We'll do the clearing. And like I said, I'll put that in the subject line. If you want to come back and do the clearing tomorrow again, you could do that. If you're in the spirit circle, you're going to get, you're going to get the weekly blessing today. So you'll have a clearing in there too. So you might not want to do both of them. Or you might, depending on how you're feeling. Just get myself set up here. All right. So I'm going to focus on this card that we just got. All right. Okay. So can you guys please, you all, please help us do a clearing, anyone who is watching this. And what we would ask today, based on what you had suggested we work on, is first and foremost to help us clear any fear in our energy field, any fear in our brains, our bodies, our soul, whatever part, anything that's vibrating out into the world that's associated with fear. Please help us release that in this clearing. And also once we clear that fear, that we start to have a better understanding of the truth of any situation that's in front of us. So there's clarity in this clearing for the truth of any situation in our personal lives and globally, so that we always have guidance that's based in love on next steps that we individually should be taking, but guided in love rather than fear. And for those who would like power to be working on their intuition and increasing their, well, this says powerful intuitive epiphanies. So for those who are comfortable with that, if you're not comfortable with that, like some people that might feel weird. So if you're not comfortable with that, just say, nope, that's not what I want to have cleared. And so you can ask for right now additional things that you want to have cleared. Okay. Or not cleared based on what I just said. All right. But I'm going to add in here that we get clarity on powerful intuitive epiphanies, but in a gentle and kind way. gentle and kind and relaxed epiphanies that come to us in a gentle way, basically. Okay, is that a good clearing, y'all? Yes. Okay. All right, I'm going to sit back. So if you're new to this, we're just going to basically, they're going to open this up. They're going to close this slowly. That's the clearing. Okay. And then they're going to cross 3 times. I will count when they start crossing. All right. And then it will be over. So you can close your eyes. You can, meditate a little bit, whatever you're comfortable with. Just try to receive the energy clearing. Okay. Receive their energy that they're sending you right now. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. One, 2, and 3. That didn't take too long. It was pretty powerful though, because they were really moving. Are you guys done, or are you still? Oh, they're not done yet. Okay, hang on a sec, you guys. One, 2, and 3. See what they're going to do now. Are you guys done? What? Okay, they're doing something in layers today. I'm getting that sense. Okay. Layer 3. One, 2, and 3. Okay, are you guys done now? Wow, that's never happened before. So yes, they're done now. Wow. So they just did 3 layers. I did ask for 3 things, so that's kind of interesting. That's really interesting. Okay. Deep breath, everybody. And just a reminder from Deb. Thank you again, Deb. I'm going to read it one last time, if I can find it quickly. Calling all light workers, please unite today, 2/9, to flood the zone. I'm going to use that in my subject line. Flood the zone with pure white light, love, empathy, compassion, care, peace, faith, and acceptance with gratitude as the newly awakened join us. And what's amazing about Flood the Zone is we've got the Super Bowl, right? The end zone. Flood the zone. Okay, so let's do our best. I'm going to do the same, not to get caught up in the weeds today about any whatever. Okay? So let's flood the zone with pure white light. Love, empathy, compassion, care, peace, faith, and acceptance, and gratitude. All right, have an amazing day, you guys, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.